Hey kids, I'm back. Yeah, my voice is a little bit hoarse, but I wanted to redo lesson 4. So even though I have a video about lesson 4 in module 1, I want to put everything on one video. The the other video on my Laura Setness channel, it's in 2 parts, so I want to have everything on one. Also, I wanted to have some better notes. So these might be able to help you understand it. Lesson 4 is pretty complicated. And so this can hopefully help you put it together. So the objective for lesson 4 is to use exponents to denote, fancy word, powers of 10 with application to metric conversions. That means that you should have your King Henry chart done and you should have it in front of you. If you haven't watched that video, please go watch it and make yourself a King Henry chart so that you have your place value chart. Also, you need to understand that 100 can be shown as 10 squared. Okay, it can also be shown as 10 times 10 because you can get 100 either any of these ways. With 1,000, it's equivalent to 10 cubed or 10 times 10 times 10. Okay, you should also understand that within each place value position, okay, if these are the names, the ones, tenths, hundredths, thousandths, they correspond on your King Henry chart to the units, the decimeters, centi, milli. You can use meters, liters, or grams, but today we're going to be using meters in our book, okay? That's going to look like M. We don't use DM, but you have to know it's there. We're going to use CM and MM. Then also the other thing that's very important in this lesson is you really have to make 2 decisions every time you do a single problem. And that is, am I going to multiply or am I going to divide? So make sure to write down all these notes. You will multiply when changing units from a bigger size, like a bigger place on the place value chart, to a smaller size, because we have to have more of the smaller units. So that makes sense that we would multiply that number. You will have to divide when changing units from a smaller size to a bigger size, like moving left on the place value chart, which makes sense because if I have a lot of these, I really don't need that many of these. So those are your notes for today. I do have another place value chart. I know sometimes I have a lot of notes and you're like, it's too much, but this can help you if you need to refer back to it. At any point in the video, you can just click back to 2 minutes and 50 seconds in the video and then you will see this. This is a bigger place value chart to show you where kilometers are, or kilo. This also is going to have a handy little, this is a 2 position shift. We have to get over the deci to get to the centi, okay? And then it also has some equivalents down here with a little cheater help down here. This is in the teacher's edition, and usually when we're in class we do this together. So that if I was going to take 2 meters, I want to show the equivalent amount in centimeters. So because we're working with exponents in this video, you won't really be allowed to put 2 times 100 equals 200 centimeters. You'll have to put 2 times 10 squared equals 200. Okay? And if you have to get the millimeters, that's 3 hops. Watch, 1, 2, 3. It's right here. That's times 1,000, but 1,000 is 10 cubed. So now that you have all these great notes that will help you so much, keep them in front of you, and let's get started. I made a little note on the top of my book, and you should also do the same so that you will have everything in front of you as we get started. And as you turn the page, you can just flip right back to it. Okay? So it says convert. That means show the same thing with a different label. You have to write an equation. You have to use exponents. If you had a meter strip at home, you could use that, or a meter stick. That's fine, but then we're going to get into like odd amounts. So bear with us, and then we'll get through this. You will be fine, trust me. We're going to find an easy way. So look at the sample. Notice what is repeated here. 3 meters, 3 meters. Every time you start a new problem, you're going to rewrite specific pieces in particular places. Watch the labels, watch the new label, and then this is going to help you get the answer here, okay? So let's get started here. Also, I really like it when you guys put the actual number. Actually, I'll put it up above. I like the actual number to help you see two place value positions. If you want to just put the 2 exponent, that's fine, okay? I just think it's kind of helpful when we're just starting out with all these pieces. If you see that whole number, it's easier. Now, they start right off by not even giving us a whole number. Well, that's okay. We're going to figure this out. 105 is the number of centimeters. So the first decision you have to make is, do I multiply or do I divide? So I'm going to look at what I have here. Previously, I was changing from meters, which are big, to centimeters, which are small. That means I multiplied because I have to have more of the small units. 300 is more than 3. Here on this one, I have centimeters first, then I have meters. This means that you have to choose division as your operation. Okay, that's your first decision. I chose which operation. Now I have to decide how many place value positions am I changing? Centimeters to meters, and if you have your place value chart handy, okay, centimeters are here, meters are here. That's a 2-position shift. If it's a 2-position shift, that's going to be 10 squared because it would be equivalent to 100. Okay, right? 2 zeros. So if I'm shifting these digits to, I want to have less value, so they're going to smaller place value positions, then I would shift 2 positions. Some kids will say, move the decimal 2 places to the left to create a number that is 100 times smaller than 105. Okay, and then put your new label here, put your answer here, so that now you've made both steps so that you could make your conversion. Okay, I know it's a lot, like it's just mean. It's mean to children, but this is what they do. So let's do another one. Now notice that this is meters to centimeters, just like A. So make your choice. Larger to smaller units? Yes, these are bigger, these are smaller. Put your multiplication sign. What are we multiplying? Copy the 1.68, okay? Then, how many positions are we shifting? Meters to centimeters, that's a hop of 2. Copy. Now that I know I'm creating a number that is 100 times larger than 1 68/100, it's a 2-position shift, so I should end up with 168. New units, centimeters. So they want you to copy here and put your final answer here. 1 68/100 meters is 168 centimeters. Notice the digits are the same. Notice the digits are the same. Let's do another one. Centimeters to meters. This one has small to large. Small to large. I will divide. Let's take the number that we're using in the beginning, 80. Write it twice. How many positions are we shifting? Centimeters to meters is a 2-position shift. These are all nice and easy at the top. Okay? And then it's going to become, 80 will become 100 times smaller. So we're going to go shift, shift, 2 positions. If you want to say move the decimal twice, that's fine. 0.80. Let's do another one. How many meters? 9 2/10. 9 2/10. What are we changing from and to? Large to small. I will have more of the small. Large to small is multiplication. By how many places? You're right. 2 positions. This number is going to be 100 times bigger. The 9 is going to shift over 2 positions to the left into the hundreds place. The 2 will shift over 2 positions left into the tens. We have to add a 0 in order to create a number that is 100 times bigger than 9 and 2/10. So we get 920. Okay? I feel like you're catching on. This one, 4 centimeters, 4 centimeters to meters. Small, teeny, tiny units to larger, divide. How many? It's a hop of 2. Now this is a very small number. So since I'm hopping 2 places, if that's my whole number, and I have to go shifting 2 places with my decimal to the left or 2 places with my digit to the right, I will end up with a 0 and 4 hundredths. Hop to the tenths, hop to the hundredths. There's your final answer. Look at this. 4 centimeters is a very small amount on a meter stick. Okay, I actually have a meter stick right here. So if my meter stick starts here and it goes all the way, look at all these centimeters down here, all the way to 100, okay? 4 centimeters is this right here. That's all it is. 4 centimeters is only 4/100th of a meter. There are 100 of these guys on 1 meter. So it makes sense that it would be 4/100ths of a meter. Okay? Now let's go on. In the space below, list the letters of the problems where larger units are converted to smaller ones. Larger to smaller. When we're changing larger to smaller, we multiply. Look for the problems where we multiplied. That's going to be A, C, E. Okay? So let's move on. Number 2. Convert using an equation with an exponent. Use your meter strip when it helps you if you have one, just like mine, or a meter stick. Now for this one, it's got a different conversion because we're not changing to centimeters anymore. We're changing to millimeters. Okay? That's a 3-position hop. Look here. Okay? Oh, actually, let me show you the other one where I've got all the, actually this one right up here. Okay, meters to millimeters. How many positions is that? 3. That's going to be times 1,000 or divided by 1,000. 1,000 is equal to 10 cubed. That's what we use on the bottom section. Okay, same thing. You're going to have to make 2 decisions for each problem. First of all, we have 3 meters, so I'm going to write it twice. And I'm changing from meters to millimeters, large to small. Large to small means multiply. How many positions? It's 3. 10 cubed is 1,000. So it's a shift of 3 positions. Okay? This 3 in the ones place is going to shift 3 positions. And I'm going to have a greater number. It's 3 to the left. Or if you want to take the decimal and move it to the right 3 places, I will end up with, if it goes from ones, tens, hundreds, thousands. Now it's in the thousands. If you want to take the decimal and go 1, 2, 3, place the decimal here, you get 3,000 millimeters in 3 meters. Another one. 1 2/10 meters, 1.2. I'm changing from large to small. They didn't mix it like they did up above. If it's large to small, we multiply. It's 3 hops. That means 10 cubed. So this one is going to be a shift of 3, 1, and then 2, 3 for 1,200. Okay? New label, millimeters. Okay, another one. Now I have millimeters to meters. Look, That means we're going to be changing our sign. So your choice here, 1,020, 2 decisions, 1,020. No, I'm not going to put a comma for a 4-digit number. I will put it for 5 digits and up, usually. Okay? So if I'm dividing, and I have to have a 3-position hop, 10 cubed, millimeters to meters, it's going to be 1,000 times smaller. So when I shift this all 3 digits to the right, I will get 1.020 meters. 1 and 20 thousandths. You could also say 1 and 200ths and leave off that last 0. That's fine, but I'm going to write the whole thing so you can see it. Okay, and again, now we have millimeters to meters. That means we're dividing. Again, same thing as above. By how many positions are we shifting it? 3. What are we converting? 97 millimeters. And since it's a 3-position shift, okay, here we had 4 digits to shift. Here I only have 2. So to smaller place value positions, we're going to go 1, 2, 3. Okay, so this is going to shift 3 positions to the right, or you can shift the decimal 1, 2, 3 to the left. Either way, I will end up with 97 thousandths meter. That means of 1 meter. Okay, next one. 7 and 28 hundredths, 7 and 28 hundredths. Here we're going from meters to millimeters. That's big to small. I need more of those. Let's multiply. It's a 3-position hop, 10 cubed. It's a 3-position hop, so my digits will be going left, or the decimal goes right. 1, 2, 3. 7,280 is my equivalent. Another one, 4. This is so tiny, 4 millimeters. But I have to convert it to meters. That's even smaller than the last one, okay? If this is 1 centimeter, 4 millimeters is like right here, 1, 2, 3, 4. It's right there. That's so tiny, out of the whole meter stick. Ooh. That's so tiny. So it's going to be a tiny, tiny fraction. We're dividing because we're going from small to large. It's a 3-position hop, so it's 10 cubed. And then we're going to shift this to show just how small. It's going to go 1, 2, 3, or shift the 4. If this is ones, it's going to go from the ones, tenths, hundredths, thousandths meter. Okay, I bet you can hear the AC blasting. It's so loud. In the space below, list the letters of the problems where smaller are converted to larger. Okay, smaller to larger. This is larger to smaller, larger to smaller. Smaller to larger, it's going to be where we divide. C, D, and F. Okay? All right, let's keep going. We'll get everything on one. You guys are doing great. Okay, it'll focus in a sec. There we go. Read each aloud as you write the equivalent measures. Write an equation with an exponent you might use to convert. So if I have 3 and 512 thousandths meters, and I want to change that to millimeters, okay, this is going to be more of the small, therefore they used multiplication. It's a 3-position hop because it's from meters to millimeters. So 10 cubed is going to be your other factor. So my answer is 3,512, and you have to fill it in for them because they only gave you one step here, but here we have to do everything. Okay, let's jump in. Copy just like we did before. This is my equation. I'm taking my 8. I'm changing from centimeters to meters. Notice it's all mixed up now. Centimeters to meters is a 2-position hop. And I'm going from smaller to larger. That means divide by 10 squared. 2 positions and divide. Now, if I'm taking 8 and I'm making it a 2-position shift from ones, not 1 change to tenths, but 2, it will go to the hundredths place. So then all you have to write here is your final answer. They already labeled it for you. You can put your unit here if you want. They didn't do it up here. You can be consistent. Okay, next one, 42. I'm going from millimeters to meters. Again, small to large, so we divide. But millimeters to meters is a 3-position hop. So what do you put here? 10 cubed with a 3. Okay, that's equivalent to 1,000, so I have to shift my 42 to smaller place value positions, 3 shifts. Okay, if this is tens, it's going to go ones, tenths, hundredths. And so there's your shift from ones, tenths, hundredths. Okay. Copy your final answer. Okay. Next one. 500ths meters, but I'm changing to millimeters, so it's going from a larger to a smaller. That means, just like here, larger to smaller, it's multiply. How many positions? To the mini ones, it's 3. I get to shift my 5 to larger place value positions 3 times. 1, 2, 3. That'll be your tens. Okay, but it's only the 5. If I leave it alone, it looks like it's ones. So you have to show the 50. You have to add the 0 to make sure it's 50 millimeters. Okay, next one. Take your very tiny 2/1000ths of a meter, and we're changing from a meter to centimeters, so it's large to small. That means multiply. It's from meters to centimeters, which is a 2-position shift, 10 squared. If this is going to become 100 times larger, then it's a 2-position shift, which would leave the 2 in the tenths place. Copy your answer. There you go. Now all we have are 3-word problems. So the length of the bar for a high jump competition must always be 4 7/75 meters. Express this measurement in millimeters. Explain your thinking. Include an equation with an exponent in your explanation. They just want you to write it out. We don't have to have a big long sentence, but we do need to take the 4 7/75 meters, and we need to show that in millimeters. Okay, so this is kind of that middle step that we were doing, but I need the expression part. So 4 7/75 meters is going to change to millimeters. Therefore, larger to smaller means what operation? That's right, multiply. How many positions are we shifting? That's right, 3. So 10 cubed is our 1,000, which is our 3 shift. Okay, it's going to become a larger number. 4 7/75 larger by 3 shifts. So if the 4 in the ones place, it's going to go tens, hundreds, thousands, 4,000, then the 7 and the 5, and we have to add the 0 in order to get back to the decimal. The new label is millimeters, and you can put it up here if you want. Make sure this doesn't look like a decimal. Make it long and curvy. Okay, nice job. Then, if you wanted to add a little bit to your explanation, you can say, use 10 cubed to show 3 shifts, and use multiplication because we're going from a larger to a smaller unit. Okay, so that explains what you're doing here. Next one. A honeybee's length measures 1 centimeter. Express this measurement in meters. Explain your thinking. Include an equation with an exponent in your explanation. Okay, so if I have 1 centimeter, just like you did before, you don't have to write the label there. I'm going from centimeters to meters. That's small to large. That's the opposite of what we did before. So if I'm going from centimeters to meters, it's a 2-position hop. That's 10 squared. And I have to move my 1 in the ones place 2 positions to smaller place values. So it's going to have to go tenths, hundredths. That's the hundredths place. That is now the measurement in meters. Okay, and I'm going to use 10 squared to show 2 shifts. And we're going to use division because small to large unit. Okay? I hope you're kind of getting it at this point. The last one. Explain why converting from meters to centimeters uses a different exponent than converting from meters to millimeters. So what you want to do is you want to show your place value chart. That's the easiest way to do it. So put ones, decimal, tenths, hundredths, THS, thousand, THS. Okay, and then I want you to also use your King Henry labels. Okay, so this is going to be the units, which in our case is going to be a meter. Okay, you can skip this or put deci, centi, milli, and then show that meters to centimeters has 10 squared for 2 PV shifts. Okay, as opposed to this one, which is meters to millimeters, and that is 10 cubed, 3 PV shifts. See, I knew you could do it. I know it's hard. It seems hard at first, but really what we're doing just is so much with those patterns. Find the pattern, repeat it, find the pattern, repeat it. I hope this is helpful. Click subscribe. Come back again. We have lots more videos. We'll see you on the next one. Bye now.